Jeff, tell us about this Swamp Thing story, because I happen to know this is some of the earliest like big comic purchasing that you ever did.
Okay, so this is kind of why I gravitated to this artwork, okay? When I was younger, there was a TV series for Swamp Thing. Ran for about 3 seasons, 1990 to like 93, and I think it was on USA. I think there was even a movie too, like Return of the Swamp Thing. Anyways, I was a big fan of that, all right? I didn't really know the comics yet at that time. I just knew the character through TV, and I started collecting comics around the early 90s, like heavily.
About what age?
I started high school when I was 12. All right, I was like young. And so along that time, I started going to conventions. I mean, conventions were just so much easier out then, you know. Like I met Stan Lee with no line, and you could walk up to the guy and talk to him for free and get an autograph. I mean, this was that type of time. And I remember me wanting House of Secrets 92. I right away dove into the old comics almost immediately when I was young. I mean, I got into a price guide. I would go to a great comic shop that had all this awesome books on the wall, and I just gravitated to old comics immediately. So when I went to a show and there was a House of Secrets 92 there that was signed by the creator Bernie Wrightson as well, and it was raw. This was like 1993, 94, okay? I remember buying that book and being so excited. It was the most expensive book I ever bought. I had to split it with a friend. Okay, it would cost $200, and it was allegedly a VF Plus at the time.
And both of you had to pay $200? Or
we each paid $100.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you ask your parents for money? Like, how did that go down?
I just worked for money, and I hustled comics. Okay.
Do you share the book? Who keeps it? How does that work?
Okay, so that was in 1994. I ended up buying this book. The signature was on the first interior page. Okay, and I did not see that book since the day I bought it.
What?
Okay, because I didn't have enough money to pay him back the $100 at the time.
I didn't know this part of the story, that you hadn't seen it. Okay, this is great. I'm glad we're going over this again.
Seen it. From 1994 till I finally contacted my buddy again, and I think it was pre-pandemic, so I think this was like 2019.
It had to have been.
Around there, where I contacted, like, dude, do you still have this book? You don't care about it. I clearly care a lot about it. He's like, yeah, man, I got it. I think it's in my mom's house still. I was like, God, what could that mean? Where has this been for the last, 20 plus years, 25 years, right? And sure enough, he finds it. We meet up, and I get it. And I'm looking at it, and I was like, oh, this is a nice book. It didn't get, like, kicked around. Nothing, like, got damaged on it. And we try to figure out a value. I was like, hey, I was half into it. You were half into it. Here's kind of what it sells for. I'll just give you half the money, its value. And he's like, great, no problem. He didn't care. All right, so I got the book back, and I remember opening it up, and like the signature was huge. I was like, whoa, and a big gold marker. I did not remember any of that. Okay, I mean, it was gigantic. I'll have pictures up here. I'll send some photos of it. And so that book always kind of had this place because it was something I bought. I hadn't seen. I always thought about it. I just never really took the initiative. And then I finally was like, you know what, I'm getting this freaking book back. And then my wife also loved Swamp Thing. And she got me one of our first anniversaries, like a Swamp Thing comic number 9. She didn't know anything about Swamp Thing. She bought some comic from a comic store. They sold her, and she gave it to me, which was awesome. And so anyways, this attachment to Swamp Thing has always been there. I'm never going to own the cover to House of Secrets 92. Metropolis Comics owns it. It's hanging in their wall. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to, it's just not going to be sold. And I'll never be able to afford it. But I just happen to know this guy who knew a guy who made a comic cover, all right, by this artist named Gabriele Dell'Otto. Him and I are tight now. I call him Gelato. We're tight like that. No, that's not true. Sorry, Gab.
Well, I was working on this project with Sean over at Carnivore Comics, and we were excited to bring House of Secrets 92 to press. And he's just got this great vision for variant comics, I've learned a lot from him. Follow him on Instagram, on whatnot, and you should be signed up to his newsletter on carnivorecomics.com. He makes some of the most unique variants, and he did this line of variants with Gabriele Dell'Otto where they redid an homage, but it's this. It's instead of it being a matching homage, it's an alt perspective of the same moment. He did an ASM1 homage, the same one where Spidey's in the tube, and we were just talking about how much we didn't like that cover recently. Well, it's from a different perspective. It's from another angle, and it looks so damn cool. He did it with Hulk 1 as well. Bruce Banner and the Hulk coming up behind him. Well, the idea for House of Secrets 92, which has a cover of a girl combing her hair and Swamp Thing entering in from the background, and she has yet to see him yet. The idea was what would happen just a couple seconds later, and that's how this cover was created.
Yeah, and I saw some pictures of what I was getting, and it was instant. I was like, yep, that's it. I mean, I did not expect to. I wasn't in the best place to do it. Luckily, they do have a great payment plan, too, by the way. 6 to 7 months, made little payments along the way, great communication, and finally finished, got it shipped to me, and it's been sitting. I've been trying to do this video with you for like a month and a half. It's been sitting on my floor for a month and a half.
How hard is it to like not open up that original art that you paid all that money for?
Yeah, it was not easy, man. I kept looking at me in this thing. I was like, is it okay? Can I leave it in there that long?
All right, Jeff. Well, today's the day. Let's take a look at this original piece of artwork.
All right. Good thing it's in the other room, so I got to go grab it. So hang tight. Let me go get it.
Hand it to me, though, because I want to present it to you. I want to see your reaction.
We had this on our notes written down here, too, that it says, our different subjects that we're doing for this show, and it's got, like, San Diego Comic-Con recap and distillery segment, and there's one on here that just says Dell'Otto original art, and I just assumed Jeff got some random Dell'Otto artwork. I didn't realize it was the cover for this House of Secrets reprint that I've been looking at for months, so I'm excited. I haven't seen this, obviously. It's been in Jeff's house.
So I want to get a reaction of both of you.
Oh, I can see a little sliver already.
All right.
Okay.
So, Jeff, this is your original piece of artwork. I assume you're going to get it framed up and put it in your casa.
Yeah, show it to me.
All right, you guys ready?
Hit me with it.
All right, comic fam. Boom. Boom. Look at that.
It's so pretty. I mean, look, in person.
Wow.
Man, real, like, painted covers in person is almost unreal. I have another painted cover that's just outstanding by Ryan Brown, and I think Irish artist, and it's unbelievable. So I don't have many, but give me that damn thing. Why are you holding it so long? It's mine.
Take it.
I want to
take it from me. I don't want to screw that up and drop it.
Dude, this is so freaking cool.
Yeah, it's pretty gorgeous. There's a whole aspect that I want to bring to the mic talking about, in regards to variant comics. It kind of all fits in where painted covers versus digital, it's almost as if there should be some type of like different value assessment, because I think of someone like Johnny Desjardins, right? I'll be having a Zoom meeting with him, and this guy's got 30 different renditions of watercolor paintings that he's like testing out. This is what it's like when you use blue first before I use the red. So now I got to redo all of this differently. What if I put the green after that? How does that change the painting? And there's all this like trial and error till it's perfected and then brought to the canvas for final art. I've worked with Johnny on some covers that's taken him days to finish. Now, I'm a fan of digital art too. It's all art, but I think there's this added value to knowing that some of the stuff is kind of painstaking. I think of like Van Gogh and the Q-tips, the dot by dot paintings that he would do.
With Q-tips.
Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what he did with it? He like did little dots?
I don't know if Q-tips were invented back then, but
I'm pretty sure they were Q-tips, weren't they? I'm showing my ignorance right now. Let me know in the comment section below. And how do you think Jeff did? How do you think we did for like coming up with the idea of this cover?
It was great because you also did a red eyes and a white eyes version on it too. So
I've never seen it not foil, right? We only did foil versions of that variant. I think.
The trade dress was standard.
There was the mail call one.
Yeah,
because I didn't. Yeah, I've mostly seen the foil version, so this was like extra cool to me.
All right. Well, let me know what you think about Gabriele Dell'Otto art in the comment section below. He's one of the greats. A lot of my favorite artists call him like the current king of painted work. Some of his original art, you paid, I think you said $15K for that. I've seen Gabriele Dell'Otto art that looks similar and not as quality as that hit $20,000 to $30,000 recently.
100%. When he said 15, I was like, okay, thank God. Okay, because I didn't want to go to like the 25, because I do he said he really loved this piece and was going to keep it in his personal collection. But he said if I can do the 15, he would sell it. I was like, shoot, yes, okay, I'll do it. And then they had a payment plan. I was like, perfect. I can keep it simple and just pay a little bit, sell a few things here and there, and justify it. And then, but yeah, 20. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if it sold for 25. It is a beautiful piece, and House of Secrets is a classic cover. I freaking love this cover. I'm so excited for this right now. So excited. So thank you for finally having an episode where I can open it. Appreciate it.
If you like that cover, well, you could have gotten it as a 1 per box in our mystery box the mystery mail call, Comictom101.com. But that was for a prior month. If you join now, you only got 3-4 days left to join. You got till the 15th at midnight. We're sending every member a boys number 2, which is a triple key. First Kimiko, first Mother's Milk, and first Frenchie. Trade dress and virgins going out at Rando.
Rando
It just kind of came out of my mouth. I don't even know. Going out at random. But we have a living horror legend, Ben Templesmith on the art, Homelander on the cover, homaging Neil Adams. We also teamed up with Davide Peratore, a outstanding artist who also trained under Gabriele Dell'Otto. When we released this ASM 29 at San Diego Comic-Con, people thought it was a Gab cover. And we're like, yo, this is like the next Gab. The kid's like 22 years old.
Whoa, okay.
So we were like low-key specking on this artist. I'm like, I got to get on the ground floor. I did it with Peach. I don't know. You tell me how I did with that. But we have a trade dress version, 1 per box, going out to every single member. I have a bunch of other stuff that I haven't even announced. Support the show directly. We'll send you some comics every single month with love. And it's $34.99 plus shipping. Best deal in comic books